Hello there, Ungainly Titan here, and welcome back to another World of Warships Legends. So finally, I've made it to Tier 7. I actually managed to unlock the Fletcher. And the first thing I noticed was that I started bleeding silver. This thing burns silver as its main fuel. I played a good few games to try and get a game for you guys, and I spent a lot of silver. You could lose anything. I've lost up to 100,000 silver. Now, prior to this, I was possibly losing silver on the occasional battle in the Benson, but they didn't do. They have added an economic screen, so now you can see exactly how you're doing and exactly how well you would do if you had a premium account. Now, it's mostly experience. You'd practically double your experience for all categories of experience. But to be honest, I don't find experience to be a problem in this game. I think the limiting factors in the grind on this game are actually silver or credits, and if you're leveling up commanders, when you get into the high tiers of commander leveling, it's what insignia, insignia. And legendary commendations are probably the limiting factors. Now you can buy insignia, but I'm not sure about legendary commendations. I suppose you could buy them too, but you do it by virtue of buying certain kinds of commander crates. So we've come into action here. We've had an Akazuki engage us very early on. We've sat at the edge of our smoke screen and somebody fired torpedoes at us. Now, I don't think that was the Akazuki. I think that's another destroyer. And I also think that it's probably a good idea to get out of this smoke screen. On the other hand, we have a Tirpitz bearing down on us. So let's see if we can find out where this Tirpitz is going. Well, its chosen direction is one of the handy things about the torpedo indicator. And unfortunately, the Tirpitz is heading. It's not going around the island, it's heading for us. So first of all, we might as well get our torpedoes off, and secondly, I'm not leaving a smoke screen with a Tirpitz bearing down on me. I'm not putting myself under even under the secondary guns of the Tirpitz have been enough to leave me with not much of a boat. But I'm not going to be paying an enormous amount of attention to this battle because I just want to talk a little bit more about the silver. The addition of the economic screen is actually quite useful. Although I would also like something that wrote down your damage for the enemy ships as well, because I think that's even more useful for learning how to play well. But it is interesting to see where you are, what level, what tiers you're making money at. And the other thing I think about it is, other than for the bragging rights of playing at tier 7, I actually don't see any particular merit at playing at tier 7. I don't think the ships are, certainly at the American Destroyer line, I don't think there's much to choose from in play, in practice in play between the Mahan, the Benson and the Fletcher. They all behave kind of similarly in each class. They're reasonably maneuverable, they have a certain amount of view range, but none of them is none of the three are noticeably better or worse than the others. None of them are noticeably better or worse in the behavior of their torpedoes. None of them are noticeably better or worse in the accuracy range of the guns, and in either of that in comparison to your detection range. They're reasonably fast boats, but they're not exceptionally fast, and I don't think any of the three of them are particularly, there's that big a difference in their speeds. Yeah, I've been spotted again. Possibly that destroyer. He peeked out with the smoke screen. So in my own opinion, actually, the Mahan was probably the most fun of the three, because the Mahan actually sees the most variety of situations. You're down there at tier 5. you, at the worst case scenarios, are playing bottom tier against ships that have all the advantages of the ship that the Benson or the Mahan or the Benson or the Fletcher will be facing. And when you're top tier, you're against ships that don't have any advantages of the higher tier ships. So if you're top tier, you're playing against ships that by and large don't have radar. Although that said, or hydroacoustic search, most of them probably do have hydroacoustic search, most of the stuff you go up against. But that said, I don't know if radar is used that well. I haven't seen radar used very cleverly in a lot of games. I've seen it popped too early when nobody's in a position to take advantage of it, or used when I'm kind of out in the open and dead anyway. I've gone behind an island perhaps from the ship that's firing up the radar, but people were shooting at me quite successfully anyway. I don't know if there's any case where so we say radar was a greater cause of my death in a destroyer, rather than my own stupidity and lack of situational awareness, in that, you know, didn't notice that the position around me was collapsing and there was other ships sneaking in around my location. So overall, the American destroyer line, well, it's been an interesting journey, and definitely not a difficult journey. It's really only the transition from the Benson to the Fletcher that took a lot of effort in terms of grind, because I needed a lot of silver, and then I needed a lot of silver to almost as much silver again, or slightly more silver, to actually equip the ship. And then you find that when you play it, you'll need a lot of credits as well, because otherwise you won't be able to play it for any kind of extended period of time, or it'll just burn through credits so fast that you won't know what's happening. So it's back down to the low tiers. Well, I'll probably play as I've been playing for a while. I won't be able to play the Fletcher, obviously, because I just won't be able to afford it. But I need to bank up some credits now in order to buy the next ship on one of the other lines, the cruiser or the battleship line. I'm not sure which one I'll go, in order to continue out, you know, with the Americans, and I'll probably try and complete the Americans before I tackle a completely new line. Might go for the Brits. I'd be curious to see how long it takes me to do it without any assistance from Premium. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.